Sup tubers, and welcome to day 3 of our 12 days of Christmas. We are here with our first book review. I am not gonna lie, I just finished this last night. Seriously not lying. This is last night of when I recorded this, so I didn't actually finish this, like the 14th. I finished this on the 8th. Yeah. So I just finished this, the day before I recorded the review. But on the upside, the book will be fresh in my mind. On the downside, I have an entire other book to finish reading. So we are here with our first book review for the 12 Days of Christmas. And the first book up is by Holly Black and Cassandra Blair. It is book 1 in the Magisterium book series. And it is called Iron Trial. On the back cover it says, fire wants to burn, water wants to flow, air wants to rise, earth wants to bind, chaos wants to devour. Cryptic, huh? Let me read you the inside panel. Friends and foes, danger and magic, death and life. I believe it's reversed. Anyway, most kids would do anything to pass the Iron Trial, not Callum Hunt. He wants to fail. All his life, Cal has been warned by his father to stay away from magic. If he succeeds at the Iron Trial and is admitted to the Magisterium, he is sure it can only mean bad things for him. So he tries his best to do his worst and fails at failing. Now the Magisterium awaits him. It's a place that's both sensational and sinister, with dark ties to his past and a twisty path to his future. The Iron Trial is just the beginning, for the biggest test is still to come. From the remarkable imaginations of best-selling authors Holly Black and Cassandra Blair comes a heart-stopping, mind-blowing, pulse-pounding plunge into the magical unknown, and it really, really was. There were so many different, okay, let's just start with the main characters. First of all, as the book tells you, there is Callum Hunt. He is a 12-year-old boy who has grown up his entire life listening to his father tell him tales about mages and the Magisterium, saying that they're evil and nothing good can come from it, that they only want power and they will lead him to his death, and just a whole bunch of things you shouldn't be telling anyone who's just 12 years old. He is, for lack of a better way to put it, crippled. He was a baby. His leg was broken severely, and because of that, he has had a persistent limp his entire life. He can't do a lot of the things most 12-year-olds can, and it has made him bitter. Not to the point where, he's purposefully, keeping away from stuff. He's not House. For lack of a better way to put it, he is not House. But he does get irritated when he can't do things other kids can, and when he's singled out because teachers know he can't do those things. His goal going into the Iron Trial is to fail the test. He fails spectacularly at failing. So spectacularly, actually, he ends up the apprentice of one of the head most sought-after master mages in the Magisterium. So there's failing upwards. Along with Callum, we have his master, Rufus, who is kind of like a cross between Dumbledore and McGonagall, if you want to try and meld that in your head. He's as stern as they both can be, but he's got that, fun-loving, twisted side to him, that where you just really want to go, what is the matter with you? But at the same time, you're struggling not to laugh. And alongside Callum, learning under Master Rufus, is his two roommates and future best friends, Tamara and Aaron. Now, at first, because of how spectacularly how spectacularly Callum failed, and the fact that his father created a huge scene at the trial when Callum was chosen by Rufus, nobody talks to him. Not even Tamara and Aaron. They don't talk to him. But as the book goes on, they do warm up to him. They have bumps along the way. I mean, what best friends don't? But they show him something he's never seen before outside of his father. They show him people are willing to stand up for him. People are willing to take his side. People are willing to make sure he's okay, and they're willing to let him prove that he can do things that other people think he can't do. And he turns out to be a really good apprentice mage. They all do, actually. And of course, they all come from backgrounds just as complicated as Callum's, which I think helps them meld together perfectly. It takes a bit before they share their problems with each other, but once they do, it helps bind them together. As you gather from the inside panel, the plot of the book is basically Callum trying to fail out of being a mage. He doesn't want to be there. He thinks he doesn't belong there. He thinks it'll be nothing but bad for him. And he's not entirely wrong. Oh, excuse me. He's not entirely wrong about that. He does have some major hiccups. But along the way, he starts getting clues and hearing things and seeing things that indicate that there might be something more to his father not wanting him there and his father not wanting his magic trained than he originally thought. And luckily for him, he's got Tamara and Aaron there willing to help him figure out the mysteries as he goes along. Now, this is not a boy who follows the rules even when he wants to be there. He sneaks around at night, he breaks into his master's office, he adopts a chaos-ridden wolf pup. Now that right there, minus the chaos-ridden part, that is kind of that's about, like, I don't know, halfway, maybe closer to 3/4 of the way through the book, but by that point I was already hooked. But what is going to ensure I keep reading the books, because this is just book 1 of 5, I think it's going to be. What will ensure I keep reading books is the fact that he adopted a wolf pup. Hi. So I was immediately like, yeah, no matter what comes of this series, I'm reading it because he adopted a wolf pup. Yeah, and the fact that it's chaos ridden, which means it literally has darkness inside it. He really shouldn't have it, but he does, and it actually turns out to be a very good thing that he has it. Havoc. He named the wolf Havoc. It turns out to be a very good thing, and Tamara and Aaron are more than willing to help him take care of Havoc. What makes this book different from most books that I have read personally is, one, the main character, the one that the story focuses on, is male. I normally read female-centered books, where the lead character is female. It's not, intentional. Obviously, I love Harry Potter. But that's just generally what I'm pulled towards. And this is actually really good. It's really different. Because of that, I love the fact that the main character is male. And it's definitely younger age than what I normally read. Like I said, he's only 12. Normally, the lead characters I read for are in their late teens, mostly. I love young adult books. I'm not gonna lie about that. I love young adult books. But yeah, it is definitely different for me because it is a male-centered storyline, and I don't normally read that. But because it's Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, 2 of my all-time favorite young adult fantasy authors, I was willing to give it a shot, and I don't regret giving it a shot. I cannot wait to get the next book. Actually, I think the next 2 are out already, but I don't have them. And it's just, as you're reading it, you think you're connecting the dots correctly, but then you get to another point of the story and you're like, okay, well, maybe this part of my theory isn't correct, but this part could still be correct. And by the time you reach the end of the book, stop it. And by the time you reach the end of the book, the theory you started with is nowhere near what the actuality is. And that just, I mean, it's Cassandra Clare, so obviously you're gonna have twists and turns like that. Look at her Shadowhunter Chronicles. I mean, yeah. And Holly Black is extremely good at doing the same thing. making you think it's going to go one way and then all of a sudden it's going, 180 degrees the other direction. And that's part of the reason I also gave this book a chance, is because I love their writing so much, and I love how they twist and warp things to get their outcome, and I just knew them writing together was going to be amazing, and I'm very happy that I was not disappointed. So that is our book review for Book 1 of the Magisterium, The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. Let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Go out, get it, read it, live it, love it. My social media will be down in the description below. Please let me know if you've read this book or if you're now looking forward to reading it. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!